the crypto industry is going through a transition. We're crossing the chasm from the first decade, which was entrepreneurial and offshore and like the wildcatting phase of the crypto industry. And the industry is growing up to be institutionalized and public and 10 to 100x bigger. I think the crypto industry today is full of confusion. It's obvious why we need it. The benefit is programmable money at all frequencies. But a lot of times it's not clear whether you have 10x leverage or 10% leverage. A lot of people are confused about what's a commodity versus a security versus a currency versus a token. What's the definition of an exchange? What's a derivative? And it's not even clear the difference between permanent capital and temporary capital. There's a big difference between having $1 billion forever and having $1 billion of capital in a token until tomorrow. And so clearly the industry is going to benefit and it's going to grow partially by education, but really through enlightened regulation. I think sometimes it takes time. If we think about the securities model, it took us 100 years before we understood what it means to disclose a security. And then derivatives took about a decade, and now they're fairly well understood. And ETFs have gone through this transformation. I actually do have confidence that enlightened regulation is coming this decade. I mean, not in the next few weeks, but in the next few years. Until we get that regulation, the safe choice is Bitcoin. The use case is a commodity, not as a currency, not as a security, but rather as a commodity where you custody it in a place that you have confidence in, either self-custody or a very institutional grade custodian. If the regulators make it clear how you establish a digital commodity, right? A digital commodity is based on proof of work without an issuer. We need a way to certify digital commodities. If I can launch a proof of work network in a fair fashion and without an issuer, I've got a commodity. That's one treatment. Digital currencies like stable coins, they need a certification technique as well. And the question is, how much collateral is backing it? Is it 10% collateralized, 100%, or 1,000% collateralized? Securities need a clear guidance for how do I issue a crypto security? Is it exactly the same as any other security? We need a definition of tokens. What's a crypto token? How do I disclose and create a crypto token? What are my rights and obligations with it? I think we need a definition of an exchange. There's a lot of confusion about what an exchange is in the crypto ecosystem. We know that 24/7 exchanges that have lots of functionality are good things, but there's a big debate about what they can do, what they should do. And then, of course, there's even a question about what is a crypto bank, right? Was Voyager or Celsius, were they banks? Was BlockFi a bank? I can see the benefit of having a crypto bank, but we need more structure there. So I think that guidance and clarity, it's going to come. It's going to be good for everyone. It's going to grow the industry. It's especially going to be good for Bitcoin. But also it's going to allow all the entrepreneurs and all the innovators to act much more rapidly and much more decisively than they are right now. And I would say clearly the ball is in the court of the SEC primarily, to a lesser extent. The OCC has a role, the FDIC has a role, the CFTC has a role. Congress will probably get involved at some point. But this is what the industry needs to grow and get beyond its current stage. We've got a very stable, very profitable business. And in fact, our business is like 99% of the other businesses on earth, which is we spent many, many years to figure it out, and we can manage it in a stable fashion, but we can't necessarily grow it 20 or 30% a year over year, like the digital monopolies. So MicroStrategy's strategy isn't different than any private company or 99% of the other companies. And that strategy consists of run your business efficiently as best you can, grow it when you can, and then make sure that you invest your cash flows into a treasury asset that's going to appreciate over time. So of course we've chosen Bitcoin, and Risk assets are struggling this year, right? This is the worst year of 50 years for risk assets. But again, that's a universal challenge that everybody faces. And if you look out beyond 4 years and base your decision making on fundamentals, I think you conclude that Bitcoin is the right choice for a Treasury Reserve asset. We continue to hire. As I said, we're profitable. We remain profitable. And if you look at our business, we've got 2,000 employees. All but about 5 of them focus upon creating business intelligence software for our customers. And then 5 to 10 people are focused on the Bitcoin strategy, which is a Treasury Reserve strategy. And we're going to motor through this. I think we're quite confident in the business, and we like the transition that we see from on-premises software to cloud software. And if you look at the 4-year moving average of Bitcoin, we've only touched that a few times in the decade. And generally, historically, those have been good opportunities to enter. And so we're about there right now. I think that does indicate that the industry is rationalizing, and we're forming a solid base around this point. As we generate cash flows, we sweep our excess cash flows into Bitcoin. And so we will continue to buy Bitcoin at these levels or any level. It's just like a dollar cost averaging into a strong property asset.